Going back to the debate, my question to Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena, sorry for keeping out of the debate so far, Rahul, is simply this, that every time, you know, you sort of remain this balance. Every time you feel that the BJP is looking more secular or doing something more secular, you put pressure on the BJP to try and return on some hardline right-wing Hindu agenda. And I'm not even saying Hindutva agenda. So, you know, are you more interested in pursuing the communal agenda, or is the BJP, or is this some good cop, bad cop routine that's being played out between the Congress and the Shiv Sena and the BJP?
Well, Arnab, I appreciate your hurry in giving certificates to political parties as to who's secular and who's communal. But I would ask you to hold your horses for just a couple of months more. On the 16th of May, we'll get the answer from the people of this country, whom they consider to be secular and who's communal.
That is no answer. That is no answer.
As your question pertaining to secularism,
that is still no answer.
Let me complete.
No, that is no verdict is an answer to that.
You want an answer? Let me complete. Okay. Now that if you want an answer, let me complete. Number 2, if you think fighting against pseudo-secularism is being communal, then yes, I am communal, we are communal. If you think fighting against majority oppression is communal, then yes, we are communal. We have never said that we don't believe in the secular fabric of this country. We abide by the constitution where we've given ourselves to this country to be a secular country. But secularism cannot be at the cost of oppression of the majority community. And therefore, we are compelled to fight against the pseudo-secular tactics and politics of the Congress government.
Adhering to the spirit of the constitution, Mr. Rahul Narvekar? Mr. Rahul Narvekar, when the Shiv Senas were
I don't know who's that, because I don't...
in Mumbai, were they adhering to the spirit of the constitution? I'm asking you a question, Mr. Rahul Narvekar.
First,
Mr. Rahul Narvekar, when you were beating the North Indians in
Gaurav,
Mumbai,
Bhatia, if you don't
were you complying to the constitution?
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, if you don't know the facts, you should speak.
My question.
It wasn't the Shiv Sena which had indulged in beating.
I know the facts.
Only shows how, that only shows your ignorance.
I'm asking you.
I appreciate your hurry, but that only shows your ignorance.
Give the freedom to move anywhere in the country.
Mr. Gaurav,
please read Article 19.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia
does not give the guarantee to an
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia
to move freely in the territory of India.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, if you don't have the courage of listening to the answer, don't ask the question.
Why were the North Indians
now that you've put your question more than 4 times to me, give me an
opportunity
why
are you getting provoked? Why are you getting provoked? No, 1 minute. Mr. Gaurav
Bhatia. Why were the North Indians
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, the Shiv Sena was calling the BJP pseudo-secular. The Shiv Sena was calling the BJP pseudo-secular, not the Samajwadi Party. Every single comment of the Shiv Sena of late
I'm on the constitution.
That when they are talking of people as pseudo-secular, Rahul Narvekar is calling Rajnath Singh pseudo-secular. He is not referring
to the Constitution of India.
Rahul Narvekar, who now pretends not to listen, was calling Rajnath Singh pseudo-secular. He is not calling the Samajwadi Party pseudo-secular.
Arnab,
anyway, I think he's
asking him. He talked about the Constitution. So I was asking him about the Constitution.
I know, you know, Rahulji seems...
the line at a critical point there with...
Rahulji seems to be very worried about majority oppression. I know. I, Salman Soz, came into Mumbai today. I'm a Kashmiri Muslim and all of Shiv Sena has gone into hiding. So they're so scared of us Muslims out here. I want to really address, I mean, this is laughable. But anyway, I want to address Mr. Swamy's concern about Kashmiri Pandits. Mr. Swamy, I will tell you this. You have no idea about Kashmiri Muslims and Kashmiri Pandits. Kashmiri Muslims are incomplete without Kashmiri Pandits. It's a terrible chapter in the history of Kashmir, and I look forward to the day, as do an overwhelming majority of Kashmiri Muslims.
What are you going to do about it?
The day, please let me finish. The day Kashmiri Pandits return in a dignified manner to Kashmir, we are all looking forward to it. And you people, rabble-rousers and dividers, you cannot stop them. You cannot, you know, Arnab, you know, you talk about milking secularism. I ask you, Arnab, why do you only talk about milking secularism and not milking communalism? Why don't you tell us, Arnab, have you asked Mr. Modi that when he appointed Mr. Amit Shah as the leader of the campaign of the BJP campaign in Uttar Pradesh, what specific skills did Mr. Amit Shah bring to UP? I want to tell you, Mr. Swamy, and BJP and RSS, you cannot have soulless development in this country. You cannot build a future on dead bodies. I'm sorry. Because of your policies, because of your ideology, you inflame passions in this country. And when people get killed, they're not Hindus, they're not Muslims, they're Indians. When women are raped, they're Indians, not Muslims or Hindus or Christians or Sikhs. When children are torn out of their mothers' wombs, listen to me, when children are torn out of mothers' wombs, they're not Hindus or Muslims, they're unborn Indians. Please, for God's sake, please, for God's sake, change your ideology. Go back to what you were, Mr. Swamy. Tell your party to behave.
Salman, so I'll come to you. You had a question coming your way from Ashok Malik. Ashok Malik, Vinod Mehta, Neerja, Chowdhury. I want to bring you into this debate. First question from Ashok Malik.
If you could get down to brass tacks. Yes. In Jan 2004, a few months before the UPA government came to power, we had a big, very fair and free election in Kashmir. We had the Hurriyat talking to the government of India, to Mr. Advani, negotiating. There is a perception that in the past 10 years, the UPA has dropped the ball on an internal settlement and rapprochement in Kashmir. And as you yourself said, in 10 years, there's been no move to reconcile Kashmiri Pandits who have been living outside Kashmir and send them back home. Would you agree that the UPA's record in coming to some sort of internal peace in Kashmir has been very sorry? Would you agree?
No, I would not agree. Because Mr. Malik,
Hindus and Kashmiri Muslims.
Mr. Malik, you please visit with me, come with me to some of the camps where Kashmiri Pandits are living. And I will show you what the difficulties are. It's not a simple issue of NDA, which had 6 years, or UPA, which had 10 years, or they dropped the ball. There are lots of efforts going on. It's not as simple as that. But I can tell you this much. Kashmiri Muslims are incomplete. Or they're incomplete without Kashmiri Hindus. I can tell you that much. I can tell this country, I can tell Mr. Swamy,
Saba,
Kashmiri Muslims are incomplete without Kashmiri Pandits.
One minute. Saba and Neerja, I come to you once. First Saba and then Neerja, I'm coming to you. Saba, I'm sorry to come to you late. You've listened to this debate for a fairly long time. If we were looking for a direction, my question to you as a reporter, as a journalist and the political editor of a magazine, do you believe that this is the debate which will also be taken out in the election of 2014? Or is this a debate which will be restricted to television studios? What do you think?
I have just travelled 500 kilometers. I'm sitting in your Lucknow studio. I've gone to Barabanki, 5 districts in UP, Faizabad, throughout Awadh. I've crossed Ayodhya today. So people are sick of all of this. People are in Uttar Pradesh, which is the main battleground for the BJP, where it hopes to rise. And I've done this tour today. So it's on the day the elections have been announced. And people are sick of this level of debate. In many places, in Gonda, in Basti, there is no electricity at all. But, however, I mean, caste and community are units on which elections have always been fought in India. But the fundamental issue before Muslims and Hindus is livelihood, law and order, issues like this. But unfortunately, here both the BJP and the secular parties play into this terrible stereotype about secularism. Both Mayawati and Akhilesh are competing, Mulayam Singh Yadav are competing to play into the fears of the minority community and offer this sort of bogus kind of secularism. On the ground, Mr. Modi is talking about development, but there is a whole cadre. I met them in Gonda, I met them in Basti. There is a whole RSS cadre which is operating at a different level. They're very organized.
That's the moot
so,
point.
you know, there are so many levels at which this whole thing happens, but people are frankly sick of it. I don't know how they can be allowed to be free of it.
These are not the issues in this election, Neerja. Yeah, these are not the issues eventually. You know, these are issues which, especially this message should go out both to the BJP and to the Congress party, that the national debate has changed. You are not in sync with the times, Neerja.
I think I would agree with that corruption, price rise, development are the main issues in this election. But having said that, for political parties, secularism versus communalism is a major issue.
After the election, perhaps, not before.
No. Even now, you see, Narendra Modi is the central issue in this election. And he symbolizes this communalism versus secularism.
Do you think he does for the voter?
I think there are sections of society for whom minorities are a major chunk of that. urban liberal Hindu is a chunk of that. Some sections of the youth also belong to that group. And if had that not been the case, then Mamata Banerjee, Mayawati, Jayalalitha would have joined hands with the BJP. Yeah. But because there is this factor, they are not doing it before the elections.
Arnab, in this election, when you've seen a 4% drop in GDP growth rates, which means 30 lakh more people unemployed in the country, and a 10 crore voter base which has been added, which has been announced by the Election Commission. These are young people. They're looking for jobs, they're looking for opportunities, they're looking for investments, they're looking for growth. In all of this, they're really, you know, for livelihood issues are more important than issues of secularism and communism, which will be used by political parties to form alliances.
We'll have to watch. We can't take this. We can't take this as the last word. Yes, Vinod.
Arnab, I take the point, but I think we must also agree on some fundamental issues. This country, the basis of this country is secularism. And even Mr. Vajpayee between 1999 and 2004 had to concede that without secularism he couldn't govern this country. The second point is that while that is true, our political parties have made a mockery of secularism.
Yeah.
And all of them, I've got a list here, Samajwadi, TDP, Vikas, they will find, if Mr. Modi is winning, Arnab, I am sitting here, they will find some way to support the Modi government. Outside support, issue by issue support.
Precisely.
They are the most shameless people in this country. And they go with the winning side. What is Paswan doing?
Well, it's political pragmatism, which eventually goes
beyond that doesn't negate secularism.
And any otherism. Ladies and gentlemen, I wrap up this debate. Thank you very much. I think what Sabha said is very relevant. She said she's traveled 500 kilometers in Uttar Pradesh and finds that these are not the issues people will be voting on. Food for thought. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for that debate. Thank you very much indeed.